What's up, Gears? Rise of RAAM is one of the best comic series from the Gears of War franchise. A great story, art, and filled to the brim with lore and characters. This comic takes place months before eday during the Locust Lambent War, so what do we learn from it? Right off the bat, it is revealed to us that RAAM and Skorge fought together during this war. In-game, we never see them together, but RAAM is the main boss in the original Gears of War, with Skorge as a boss seen later in Gears of War 2. Not only do they fight alongside one another, but they also see each other as brothers and have a great friendship dynamic. RAAM is seen using his Troika turret as his primary weapon, just like we saw in Gears of War, so at some point this was salvaged from the surface without humanity realizing. This is common for the Locust to steal weapons, tech, and anything they can from humans without them knowing, so they can remain secret down in the hollows. We move on to see Lambent drudges and wretches on the battlefield, so although the COG never saw them until the events of Gears of War 3, drudges have been around since before eday fighting the Locust. They look a little different since it's in comic book form, but their size is staggeringly tall, outsizing RAAM, who himself is 10 feet tall. While they look like Lambent Zerkers, the bullets do pierce their bodies, so it is indeed a drudge. RAAM at this time in the story is revealed to be what is called Vold, which in human terms translates to lieutenant. When we knew him in Gears of War 1, he was an Uzil, meaning High General. This story, aptly named Rise of RAAM, is all about his rise to that status, so we'll get there in time. I'll put the other army ranks on screen: Mag, Verl, Vold, Krav, Zamil, and Uzil, meaning Private, Sergeant, Lieutenant, Captain, General, and High General in that order. These also mean in Tyran, which is English in their world, Virgin, Dirty, Battered, Bloodied, Gored, and Unbroken. Our first new character is Verl Jermad, or Sergeant Jermad. He's an expert Locust sniper that wears a one-eyed Cyclops helmet and uses the Breach Shot sniper rifle as his main weapon. The Breach Shot, as first seen in Gears of War Judgment, is a modified Marxa sniper rifle with no scope, a larger caliber bullet, its bolt shot now, and a giant blade attached to the bottom. During his victory speech, Skorge states that he inhales emulsion fumes and he has seen visions of their god, the Riftworm, awakening and helping their war efforts. This prophecy becomes true as we see the Riftworm in Gears of War 2 with none other than Skorge leading it in their war efforts against the COG. The Riftworm was awakened by the Lightmass missiles the COG dropped in their hollows in Gears of War 1. RAAM does not believe in Skorges and the Locust religion called the Trinity of Worms, where they praise the Riftworms for creating the hollows and allowing life to sprout there. RAAM doesn't even believe in the Riftworms at all, calling them mystical, and he would never get the chance to see them awakened either. As we stated previously with the Locust salvaging human tech, it is revealed that there are open pathways down into the hollows and some Locusts have seen the surface and humanity. RAAM and Skorge overlook this unknown city while a Pendulum War battle between the UIR and the COG takes place. RAAM discusses that the Lambent War is in its 7th year with no end in sight for Locust victory. His blight or battalion is called the Bloodied Vanguard, which is actually referred to in some voice lines in the multiplayer. Okay, I thought I had a clip. I don't have a clip. I tried to play Gears 5 multiplayer to get the Locust so I could play Skorge who says it, but I just could not get it, and now it's too late, so sorry. Anyways, RAAM does not believe at their current pace that the Locust can win the Lambent War. Instead, he believes that the future of the Locust lies on the surface of Sera, taking it from humanity. Despite the fact the Locust would be engaged in a two-front war, he still believes the Locust can destroy humanity while they are currently focusing on each other during the Pendulum Wars. A Locust victory would allow more territory, resources, and the ability to escape the Lambent. To get his visions across to the Queen, he goes to the Royal Palace and speaks with the current leader of the Locust Army, Uzil Sraak. Yes, at this time, RAAM is not the leader of the Locust as we saw him in Gears of War 1, but instead this brand new character Sraak. He towers over RAAM, staying at 12 feet tall, large sharp teeth, much stronger, and wears a heavy durable set of armor. He reveals that RAAM's blight is just one of many and that the Bloodied Vanguard were ordered to continue defending the Gorgon front, which is in the southern hollows. Sraak refuses to believe RAAM that the Locust will lose the Lambent War, and after RAAM insults him by telling him he should leave the Royal Palace once in a while to see them losing the war, Sraak body slams him and knocks him out cold. With Queen Myrrah lurking in the shadows, it is revealed that like all Locusts, Sraak is extremely loyal to Myrrah. As they return to the Gorgon front, Skorge states that he was an acolyte of the Cantus, meaning a monk for their religion. It is unknown in this current issue why he was kicked out of the order, but they do reveal it later on. But we find out acolytes get exclusive quarters and breeding rights, meaning that most Locusts must share rooms and only the strongest and most skillful get the chance to reproduce and pass on their genes. At the end of the comic, a corpser breaks down from the hollow ceiling to attack the Bloodied Vanguard, which does not surprise RAAM as he believed Sraak was going to send something to kill him for his dissonance. And that is issue 1 of the Rise of RAAM comic. I highly recommend you read it for yourselves, but one day I may do a summary or reading of it on this channel. I'll be back next week, hopefully, for issue 2, so subscribe and make sure to like and comment on this video. Alright Gears, till next time.